Hi everyone. Welcome to Tibits, the vegetarian restaurant, which is not only fresh, but also delicious and easygoing. I want to mention that due to the nature of the brief, there are certain similarities between the groups. But I'm sure you'll spot the differences. You know, great minds think alike. Digital trends change our lifestyle rapidly. We want to use those opportunities to create an even better experience for our customers. So let us take you on to a tour through a digitalized and improved Tibits. Elina, do you want to tell us about our first proposition?
Sure. So the customer is at the entrance, and there, just above the door, there's a display which shows not only the number of available free seats, but also a map of the tables who are free and occupied. So the customer knows just at one glance that if it's very busy or not, whether he should go and have a nice meal now or maybe come back later. And even new customers might be acquired, since they might be attracted by the free seats sign. So when the customer has decided to go into Tibits, he can select his table and press a button. This will turn the color on the display from green to red. Now the table is reserved just for you. Now you can go choose your meal and have a wonderful time. When you have finished, the waiter will clear the table and put the light back to green. So now a next customer can come. This method has several advantages. The customers know at one side if there's a lot of space, if it's crowded, or if it's very busy. And furthermore, even reservations can be incorporated, so that's also an advantage for the employees, since they might have a better overview how crowded it is. For the Tibits team itself, it's a useful method to collect data about rush hours, occupancy, and, for example, what sizes of group go to Tibits and at what time. You can even evaluate what is the favorite table of the guests. So I think it is a great method to manage customer flow.
It actually is a great idea. Thank you very much. I really think that would improve not just the enjoyment for the customer, but only the efficiency of Tibits itself. Let's assume that our customer actually goes and grabs some food. James, could you tell us what we could improve there?
So, our customer walks over to the buffet. As you can see, there is a wide range of really delicious food available. Amazing. But beside each individual piece of food, we have a very small label and description, what the food's called, and then a few obscure icons which are trying to explain that it's vegan-friendly, gluten-free, not good for people with lactose intolerance, good for kids, good for adults, and everything all at once in very tiny labels. So if you're not speaking the language of Tibits here, if you don't fully understand every single icon on the little card, you're going to have to cross-check and reference it if you do have a dietary requirement. So we realized that perhaps there's something here that could be slightly improved at the buffet. Now, on the projection here, we see the basic outline. It's a beautiful design in that it's minimalistic of what our proposed solution is to this problem. The green represents the display. So instead of having a card to describe the food, we have a display to describe the food. The display would be based on the same technology as of a Kindle, so that it's very energy efficient and it can change. It's also very cheap to implement as well. So this display will give you all the nutritional information that you would expect on the normal sign, and then it would add even more onto it. And it wouldn't be in labels because you can have the display to output words, and then after a certain time, so it's gluten-free, high in magnesium, and so on, that would take up most of the display, just easy to read, and then it can change onto the next format of the display, which would be, say that it's vegan-friendly, and that it's also it's suitable for people who are lactose intolerant. So it's a very, at a glance, you can tell what's going on there. Now, this idea on its own isn't great, to be honest, but we decided we could implement it further to make it even better. And that is done by the small box underneath our food container bowl. So the bowl, the black, and the small box is actually a weighted scale, electronic scale. So this box is connected to our display sign so that when the user takes out, or when our customer takes out food from the bowl, it is, as demonstrated beautifully. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. And and onto their plate. It is then shown on the display sign how much they've taken out, and also important information regarding the number of calories that's been taken out, some carbohydrates, and every other thing that they could be interested in. So this is not only good for the customer, so they know what they're getting, but this is also great for the people, for the, well, Tibbits ourselves, because we can use this information and connect it to a computer system, so we can collect all the information about what all the customers are taking out from the bowls. So we see what's the most popular dishes with very high accuracy. We see, say experimentally, you might want to move a dish from this place in a cafe more to the front to make it more prominent. Does that increase the popularity of the dish? So if we move some of the less expensive foods to produce over here, will we get more customers eating the less expensive food, so to make more profit and get a higher margin? Stuff like this you can do with big data analysis. So yeah, so we've got a big data analysis of that, which is really helpful, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the Tibbits customer experience.
Thank you very much, James. It's really a smart idea, especially as I figure myself, it's always quite hard to guess how much food you have within one spoon. So yeah, these scales would really help, I figure. Though I feel we can actually add something onto that. Do you have any idea, Jan, what we could add?
Yes. We saw potential in the use of the already existing Tibbits membership card. By now, it has been kind of a prepaid payment system and a discount card. But now, you can take this card at the buffet and slide it onto the display, which was explained by James, and then a sensor behind the display sends all data, nutritional data, you just collected with the portion you took out of the food container to the card. Later on, or if you go to the next, menu, to the next food container and take out another portion, it calculates the total nutritional data and shows it on the display. With the QR code that is at your Tibbits membership card, you can scan this with your mobile device, and at the Tibbits web login, you can see the total amount of, for example, carbohydrates or proteins or fat you consumed in your last meal in a graphic. These data can be easily be connected with other programs and apps. And by the way, I think it offers great possibilities in terms of advertisement and promotion to Tibbits.
Thank you very much. Again, I think that this idea also will improve the customer experience, especially for your very loyal customers that would have such a card. We've heard now all three of our propositions. Yasmin, can you give us a summarization?
With greatest pleasure. Thank you, Tobias. So our first idea was the table map. And I think with the table map, we can make Tibbits an even more easygoing restaurant. So you can see all the free tables at one glance. Also, you can manage high and low occupancy times. So the next idea we had was the NutriFacts at the buffet. So with this idea, you have a win-win situation for either customer and the Tibbits restaurant itself. So on one hand side, you have the customer who can profitate in terms of he gets satisfied his desire of getting more information about his food. And on the other hand, for Tibbits, it's an advantage because they can collect data about the customer's habits. So they can improve the experience for the customer the next time. Also, it has a practical advantage for the kitchen, for example, so they always know which dish they have to refill. And the third one was the member card. And I think the member card is really great because you have personalized information you can access at any time on your personal account. And as you can access it at any time, the experience doesn't stop with your stay at Tibbits restaurant itself, but you also can take the experience to your home.
Wow, what a concise conclusion. Thank you very much, Yasmin. I think that these three ideas are very promising propositions to Tibbits. So remember that they are our intellectual property, right? Altogether, we want to incorporate digital trends such as interactive displays and big data collection to improve the experience for the customer, but also to make Tibbits in all parts more efficient. In this sense, thank you very much for visiting Tibbits today.